Hello everyone, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a twin flame reading for the Twin Flame Collective. As many of you know who do join me here often on my channel, I create Twin Flame live premiere reading videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to tune in at that time if you can to join us in our live chat conversations we have during the reading. However, if you can't make it to the live reading, that's perfectly okay as well. I am just so grateful to each of you who took the time to come to this video and share your beautiful energy with this reading and with our community here. So I'm going to go ahead and begin by shuffling the Energy Oracle deck cards today. As I was preparing for the reading, a few words came out in what I call my love word scramble. This is essentially where I channel very specific words that usually connect in hyper-specific ways to certain individuals who will be drawn to these messages. So keep in mind, whenever I speak on specific words coming through, these are intended for very specific people and will not resonate with everyone. So as with all of my messages, be sure to use your own intuition above all else in really determining what is a message intended for you and what is for someone else. But the words that came out initially were break, spell, and brass. And for some reason with break, spell, I also heard disillusionment. I kind of heard two sides in these two words. On the one hand, I heard disillusionment, but another thing I heard is I feel as though a spell is being lifted, like I've been under some kind of spell. This could even be someone feeling as though they've been under the metaphoric spell of another person. This could be a karmic third party. This could be under the spell of something. There's just something here that I feel this person wasn't aware of how much it was leading them down some path they didn't want to go, potentially even a path leading them away from their divine love union with their twin. Now, again, these are just a few initial messages I am kind of intuitively channeling. Those might not connect with you personally. As I'm shuffling here, if you would like me to channel specific messages for you and your situation, be sure to like the video and also to subscribe to this channel here. By taking these two actions, by liking and subscribing, you are actually virtually transmitting some of your energy, and I'm able to register and pick up on that energy and channel more specific messages for you. So what do twin flames listening to this reading need to know at this time? For some reason, I was looking at one of the Lover's Oracle cards I have laid out here, and there's a cross on the tree in the image on this card that I never noticed. So because that's standing out to me, there could be something about religion, even specifically Christianity for some of you. But again, that will probably just be for a few people. So what do twin flames who are drawn to this video need to know at this time? Okay, and the first card to come out here is the anxiety card. So I want to know who here is feeling anxious. Who in this situation is feeling anxious? Or why are they feeling anxious? Okay, wow, very clear message coming out here initially. So the first card is the storm warning card in the upright position. I just heard forecast. So there could be someone who's struggling with feelings of anxiety because it's almost like they're predicting that things aren't going to end well or aren't going to go well somehow in this love connection or in their life in some way. And then with the thinking woman reverse, this is very interesting because the thinking woman, I generally connect with a divine feminine's ego. So her physical 3D perspective And this is reversed here. So what I heard is ego release, ego death, specifically pertaining to the divine feminine side of things. So there could be a divine feminine listening who is going through an intensification of the ego death process through her spiritual awakening, meaning that for someone listening, it could feel like either in this love connection or in your life, take it as it resonates, but in some area of your life or in all areas, depending on your situation, it could feel like things are just crumbling, things are falling apart, things are very confusing in some way. Wow, very, very intense energy. I feel this almost like buzzing in my body, like when you have a hit of caffeine or something, just someone feeling really amped up, but not in a good way, kind of feeling a lot of tension in their physical body, a lot of worry, especially worry when it comes to thinking about the future of either, again, something in your life or of this connection specifically. Wow. I just needed to take a deep breath there because whoever I'm channeling, I feel that it's like you almost have the sensation of I'm not even breathing, like I'm so anxious. And again, this won't be everyone. This could just be one or two people listening. But I do feel that I want to read more into this person's energy because I do feel there's something more significant going on here that we're not seeing yet. The word guard came out, and I instantly heard like on your guard, or like always feeling on your guard, or putting your guard up, putting your walls up. Why is this divine feminine feeling anxious? How is this divine feminine feeling this ego death process or worrying about the future in life or in this connection? What's going on here with this anxiety card coming up? Okay, you guys who watch my recent readings will know this card comes up a lot, but the garden and the gate came up reversed here. And actually in previous readings, it's also been coming up in the reverse position. So this is kind of the carrying forward of an energy here because as twin flames, we are tapping into a collective energy that we often experience kind of simultaneously, although it can manifest in different ways through our individual connection. So this is one of those cards that is signifying energy that is carrying forward in reading after reading. So I do want to read a little bit specifically about this card here. Abundant prosperity, staying safe. And those two words, staying safe, instantly stood out to me and also connected with that guard word we channeled earlier, being on your guard for the purpose of staying safe. I feel like there could be a divine feminine who's been struggling to feel safe within this connection, to feel, I specifically heard emotionally safe, emotionally secure. And then this line from the guidebook specifically stood out to me. Be aware, the choice to stay in the seeming security of this lovely garden may actually be motivated by fear, specifically a habit or a fear of the unknown. And once again, that stood out to me, that habits of putting your guard up, habit of becoming defensive, habit of choosing security over the unknown. I feel this could be for a divine feminine listening. This won't be for everyone, but there could be actually some kind of inner child wound here that has caused this divine feminine to have this energetic habit of emotional instability, emotional insecurity, if I can say the word. And I feel that this was actually created in childhood for some of you, not for everyone. This could also be created in an early formative romantic relationship. Any experience that's really formulated how you felt about yourself and love connections in general and your role in love connections. I feel like there's something here that caused a divine feminine to feel very insecure. And so she is very quick to put up her guard in love connections. So I want to know more. Why is this divine feminine putting up her guard? Why is she choosing security over fear of the unknown? Okay, so caring connections in the reverse position came out, as well as the thinking man in the upright position. Now with caring connections reversed, I felt a very old energy from this card, meaning like a very past energy, someone reminiscing or looking back on very early experiences in their life. And this person saying, I never felt truly cared for. I never felt as if my needs were truly being met. And this pattern was set up within this person I'm connecting with of, I just heard, not really believing in love. This person might come from a broken family, or their parents could have argued or even gotten divorced or separated or something like that. Or this another person I'm channeling here could have had a family that presented a very perfect front to the outside world, but behind closed doors, things were very messy and at times very unloving. Again, this won't be for everyone, so only take what connects with you. I just saw the numbers 1122, by the way. But I'm hearing that this person, it's like they, because of these experiences or things they witnessed and saw of love from a very young age, it's like they weren't sure how to believe fully in love or their worthiness of love. And then with the thinking man upright, this I usually associate with the divine masculine ego. So it tells me that because of this pattern within this, again, I'm feeling it's a divine feminine, but it could be either side here. But this pattern within this energy, this person of not fully feeling loved or supported in connections or feeling worthy of that love and support causes this energy to be strongly triggered by the divine masculine in his ego, because any perceived, like, anytime I keep saying she, but I do feel for many this is the divine feminine. Anytime she sees his ego flare up, the divine masculine's ego flare up, I just see her instantly cutting off, walls up, guard up, very defensive because of this unhealed wound inside herself. Because in some sense, I feel that she was seeking that security externally because she couldn't find it within, because within there was a part of her that was still that little girl that wasn't feeling worthy of love or wasn't seeing an example of unconditional love from her family or from her parents. And again, this will not connect with everyone. This is just kind of what's coming through for someone. I am feeling guided to actually look up the number 1122. I know it can have many different meanings depending on your individual situation, but you guys know I like to look up angel numbers or repeating numbers as they come up through the reading, just to see if I can get specific messages from them. Wow, guys, I just got a wave of chills reading about this number. Angel number 1122 is associated with your higher purpose in life and your spiritual growth. And I instantly thought back to a video I saw the other day that talked about how we are given our most challenging experiences and pain in our life because it's an essential part of our life purpose to heal these things for ourselves, and then through healing them within ourselves to be able to also raise collective consciousness. It's really part of our mission on earth. We are given this pain, these negative experiences as part of our mission. And I feel that for a divine feminine, I'm just going to say it because I am feeling many will be the feminine. For a divine feminine listening, part of your mission is a lot of pain and feelings of unworthiness that come from inner child wounds, but you chose this path on a soul level for the purpose of healing these things, transcending these things. It's part of your life purpose to overcome these obstacles, and that's just what I'm hearing for you. So I do now want to get into a bit more specifics about this triggering that's happening here, because I am feeling there's a trigger moment here when this divine feminine feels particularly, I want to say, hurt or triggered or something by the masculine that causes her to put her walls up. The words sun, other, and image came out, if that connects with you in any way. So what is this moment, this trigger moment for this divine feminine? Okay, so The two cards that came out, interestingly, were the Journey card in the upright position and the first Chakra card in the reverse position. For some reason, I heard like, when you go, I feel all of the insecurity and instability within myself projected outward in some way. It's like there's this emotional or physical abandonment wound here. So if you are someone connecting with this, you or your twin might have the inner child wounds that we call an abandonment wound, meaning that because you could have been emotionally or materially abandoned in some way in childhood at a very young age, you then have this intense fear of being abandoned that causes especially a very strong block in the root chakra, where our sense of security and stability really is cultivated and founded upon. Because the two cards that came out were Journey and the root chakra card in reverse. So what I heard here is someone saying, I see someone like feeling someone go, or seeing someone go, or seeing someone disconnect from them. And it's just like the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching feeling in the world. Like I'm getting kind of choked up just thinking about it. And this might not be someone literally leaving. It could be an emotional disconnect. I heard a divine feminine saying like, I felt him slipping away. So this could even just be emotionally feeling that the divine masculine is going cold or not connecting in the same way. I feel like I'm connecting with a divine feminine who really hyper overanalyzes in especially romantic love connections, but could even be in friendships as well. That almost might manifest as a kind of social anxiety thing, or that might be what others label it as, but who kind of overanalyzes their interactions with other people, especially the masculine, and is always finding faults within either things that they said or didn't say, or did or didn't do, or things the other person said. And what they're really doing is this is their primal brain trying to protect them, because they do have this inner child wound, this abandonment wound, this intense fear of being abandoned. So they are always searching for a threat to their security within the relationship. And whenever they find a threat or a perceived threat to their security within that connection, that is why they instantly put these walls up or go cold or whatever the case is. It's because deep down they are hurting. They are intensely afraid of being left alone, either emotionally or physically within this connection. And I just heard this really sad message. This won't be for everyone, but from someone, it was like, I never fully allowed myself to open up to you in the physical because I always held on to this intense fear of being left alone. And it's like a really sad, dark kind of feeling. Wow, very intense messages coming through here. I do strongly feel this abandonment wound is really sourced in or housed in mainly the root chakra at this point, which makes sense because through the root chakra, we also do store generational traumas, many of our inner child wounds. It's really where we build our strong foundation of trust, first beginning with self-trust, and then that self-trust is capable of being projected outward into bridges of trust within our relationships, especially in our romantic relationships. And I do feel whoever I'm connecting with here has a weak root chakra energy because of this abandonment wound, because of these intense fears of being left alone that cause this very core level energetic sense of insecurity and instability within themselves. So if I'm speaking to you here, I have created a root chakra activation subliminal meditation. Now this is really powerful because it contains 4 binaural beat frequencies that resonate with the root chakra and are really designed to activate the root chakra energy to its highest frequency state. And this is so powerful because by a principle known as frequency following response, when we immerse ourselves in certain binaural beat frequencies and pure tones, our energy body actually begins to mimic these frequencies, essentially retuning our energy to its most natural, clear, and open state, and releasing any negative blocks or vibrations in the process. And in addition to this, this subliminal also contains unconscious affirmations designed to uproot negative blocks from the root chakra and clear them away. So by unconscious affirmations, I mean that within the subliminals I've created, you will not be able to consciously hear the affirmations, but that is why they are so powerful, because they are embedded within other tones and meditation sounds and frequencies. And the effect of this is that the conscious mind cannot hear them. And what the conscious mind can't hear, it can't reject. So these affirmations are able to bypass the conscious filter of the mind and make deep, lasting impressions on the subconscious mind, which, guys, the subconscious controls 95% of our thoughts. So you can only imagine how much of our energy field is really dominated by what's going on in the subconscious. And subliminals are such a powerful tool for radically shifting the subconscious, shifting those deeper levels of our energy. So as you can see on the screen on my website, soundandsoulful.com, I've created over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So I have subliminals for appearance changes, for mood shifts like confidence and happiness, for love and relationships, for material manifestations, and of course for twin flames as well. So this root chakra activation subliminal I mentioned is linked in the pinned comment and description box under this video, as well as any other subliminals I recommend to you during this reading. Okay, so I'm actually going to reshuffle the deck here, and I want to get more information on how this is playing out specifically within this connection I am reading into here. This intense fear of abandonment coupled with this root chakra wound. And you know what? Let's specifically focus on this root chakra wound, because an interesting message I heard is someone who may have been connecting with my recent message about having this abandonment wound. Again, you could be a divine feminine or a masculine connecting with that. But whoever you were, I feel you aren't seeing how this wound is mirrored between you and your twin. Now, some of you might be, but I feel that many of you, even if you see it, you do need a reminder that as your perfect energetic mirror, your twin flame does reflect back to you everything going on within you energetically. And I feel in the past, someone I'm connecting with here has either done one or the other, where they've thought, oh, my twin flame seems to have this fear that prevents them from connecting with me, from reaching out, from doing whatever, but I don't think that I have that. Or they could be doing the opposite, where they see it in themselves, but they don't see it in their twin. They're like, oh, how can they be feeling that same fear when it looks so different on the surface? And what you need to understand about twin flame mirroring, and I will do a video on this more in depth later on, but with twin flame mirroring, yes, twin flames are perfect energetic mirrors, but the key word is energetic, because although this energy is perfectly mirrored, how that energy manifests will be very different on the surface, especially very often for the feminine versus the masculine side. This is because of the ways in which the feminine and the masculine are programmed differently by society. So just as a small example, because the masculine is programmed by society to really shove down and repress his emotions, to not connect with them, the masculine would be more likely to manifest an energy wound through just emotionally cutting off, distancing himself, going cold, than the feminine, who might be more likely to chase, to push, to really, I guess you could say, overexpress or become overly emotional, because she hasn't learned from these inner child wounds how to fully emotionally regulate by finding that emotional stability within herself. So it could be the same energy wound in each side, but it could show itself or manifest itself very differently. Now, that's just one very isolated example. So the word that came up is decide, but also the words frozen and poetry, if that connects to you in any way. And I did hear, like, from the word frozen, almost like the cold shoulder or someone disconnecting, and also the word decide. So I felt a masculine energy from this. I was asking how this root chakra wound, this emotional insecurity, could be manifesting on both sides. And I'm feeling that for a masculine listening in, or someone who's a divine feminine who is tuning in, trying to get messages for their divine masculine, I do see 2 points here. So one is that this energy wound, this root chakra wound within this masculine could be manifesting as indecision or apparent indecision in the physical, not looking decided about what he wants, especially when it comes to this love connection. Another way this could be manifesting, sorry guys, I had a brief pause there because 2 cards flew out that we'll get into in a second. So another thing with the word frozen, I heard cold shoulder, like I said earlier. So this masculine who's experiencing this root chakra wound could be manifesting it. It could be playing out in the physical by him either appearing to be indecisive about his divine feminine or about this love connection. Alternatively, or in addition to this, it could also be playing out as him giving her the cold shoulder in some sense, emotionally distancing, emotionally disconnecting. Now, I don't feel like this happens all the time. And I also feel the extent to which either of these things manifest or happen in the physical will depend on your specific connection and how much healing work you've done on yourself and how much healing your twin has done as well. But I do strongly sense that many will connect with these 2 manifestations of these root chakra wounds in the masculine. So the cards that actually came out while I was speaking about this root chakra wound were the Thinking Man reversed and Storm Warning reversed. Yeah, and actually the Indecision card just came out, which is really interesting. So the Thinking Man reversed, of course, I speak on this being connected to a divine masculine releasing his ego. This is really interesting because initially, if you remember earlier in this reading, this card came out in the upright position. So I do strongly feel this is a dynamic that is actually healing for this masculine through his ego death process. For some reason, I heard there could be a masculine who found a lot of external security in very material things in his life, in a career, in work, in potentially karmic relationships in his life with either friends or family. I feel like there's a masculine here who built a lot in his life on the premise of a false self or like a projected ego self. And because he found so much external validation and security in these things, this ego death process has been very difficult for him because he is learning to let go of all of these things. And in doing so, he's been really confronted with the fact that he's looked for security externally in these relationships, people, jobs, material things, because he didn't have that sense of security and stability within himself. But again, this is something that is healing in a powerful way for this masculine. Now with Storm Warning reversed, I do feel called to just read a little bit from the guidebook about this. This card reversed indicates that the dark times are behind you, or at least beginning to fall away. You can take heart that sunny skies and better times are on the horizon. This new light may bring a time of reassessment and redirection for you. This is interesting because with the Indecision card, when this came out here, I instantly heard in my mind that this was a crossroads. That's the word I was looking for, a crossroads for this masculine. And the 2 words that stood out from the guidebook here to me were reassessment and redirection. And I feel that through this ego death process, this masculine is being forced to move from a state of being indecisive about this love connection, potentially about the feminine, to a state of decision by finding and cultivating that security within himself and letting go of those sources of external validation in his life that are not aligned to his true soul self, that were aligned to a projected false ego-based self. So now I do want to speak to the divine feminine. By the way, I will be channeling letter initials for that situation with the masculine, as well as potentially, I just had a card come out here, as well as potentially who or what could be these things that this masculine is in the process of letting go, whether it's a karmic, a job, a career. Whatever the case is, I will be channeling more information about that in the extended part of this reading. So the extended parts of the reading are linked in the pinned comment under this video if these messages are connecting with you and you'd like to dive deeper into more of the details. Okay, so now we're speaking to the feminine side of things, and specifically how this root chakra wound is mirroring in her and how it might be manifesting in her physical experience and her physical world. And the first card to come out here is the Envy card. Now, I know this won't connect with everyone, but I instantly heard very specifically jealousy. So if you are a divine feminine who this is connecting with, you might be someone who I just heard like possessive, who feels possessive or jealous within romantic connections. And know that this is not your fault. Just like for the masculine, this behavior or these feelings are actually rooted in this either abandonment wound or this root chakra wound, this very deep level inner child wound within you that is causing you to need to seek external validation. Just like the masculine, we said, could be seeking external validation in his physical matrix in the 3D through his projected false ego self. The feminine here could be seeking security through trying to, I just heard like ownership, trying to possess in love. And I know that sounds like a really negative thing. What I mean by that is just trying to almost perpetually seek validation from romantic partners. Like you could be the kind of person who feels as though you need to be constantly told how someone feels about you, or you always wonder. And like the reason you're doing that is because you do always kind of wonder, it's like, has this person emotionally abandoned me? Have they stopped caring about me? That comes from an abandonment wound. So be self-compassionate if I'm speaking to you here. Also, to assist you in really rising into your fully confident, empowered, and powerful, most highly activated divine feminine states, I really do recommend my subliminal called the Awakened Divine Feminine. This is really designed to help you activate those powerful feminine energies. And I also do have one for the divine masculine as well, called the Awakened Divine Masculine. So I will leave links to both of those in the pinned comment under this video. But just keep in mind that anytime you heal those wounds within yourself, you shift, you step into your power as the embodied awakened divine masculine or divine feminine. You are strongly sending an energetic signal to your twin that they are instantaneously responding to, not just energetically, but also this will manifest in physical responses, physical shifts as well. So again, the link to those two subliminals for the awakened divine masculine or divine feminine are in the pinned comment under this video. But as I was speaking there, a card just flew out, so let me get that. Door to Spirit in the upright position. I'm going to actually see if I can read a little bit about this card from the guidebook. Spiritual awakenings and new beginnings. This door opens onto the expansive energetic realm where all new beginnings originate. The orbs of light are guiding you through the clouds of the earthly world, leading you to a deeper understanding of your eternal identity, the source of all true value and power. This door opens onto true unlimited potential, for the changes that happen here reach deep into the core of your being. This is really interesting. So I see a strong contrast here between the Envy card in the upright and the Door to Spirit in the upright. It's like someone's still feeling at times jealous or insecure or whatever the case may be within their romantic connections, but simultaneously they're releasing these things. They're going through this spiritual awakening. They are stepping into their power. So what I see from the divine feminine is this kind of vacillating, this moving back and forth, almost like being on this roller coaster. And this won't connect with everyone, but I am speaking to a divine feminine who at times feels entirely divinely connected, in her power, strong, confident, and then at other times finds herself slipping back into old energetic and thought habits of feeling worried, feeling anxious, feeling insecure, or even jealous or possessive, whatever the case may be, however this Envy card might be applying. It's like I feel a divine feminine who at times feels as though she is struggling, or there is a struggle going on between the light and the darkness within herself. And I also feel that this divine feminine could be at times lacking in self-compassion. She could be really self-judging this experience. So if you are someone who is self-judging this battle of your darkness and your light, know that both are divine and both are there as part of your soul purpose, your soul mission. You are experiencing, or you have experienced, darkness both in your life, and maybe even darkness you've taken into yourself, limiting ways of thinking about yourself and about love and your relationships. You've experienced all of this for the purpose of overcoming these things, transcending these things, healing these things, and nothing is going wrong here. However, with cornucopia coming out here in the reversed, the 1111 card, I do see this feeling of wishes delayed, but for some reason when I said wishes delayed, I heard divinely delayed. I heard that for some divine feminines there could be this experience of, and this has been coming up a lot recently, so this is no surprise, but it's coming up again here, this idea that things have been put off or delayed or aren't coming together fast enough or something like that. But I feel this divine feminine being told the reason on a higher self level these things have been delayed or pushed forward in the physical isn't because anything is going wrong. It is giving both you and your twin the time and space, a sacred time and space, to resolve this inner conflict between the light and the darkness within yourself, to transmute this darkness, to heal these energy wounds, and in doing so, to lay the foundation. I just saw someone like building the foundation for a castle or something. And I think this is a really beautiful metaphor because in a sense, you and your twin are like the king and queen energy in your life. And through this sacred time and space of resolving the conflict between light and dark within yourselves, these energy wounds within yourselves, you are actually laying a strong foundation for this metaphoric castle that you are going to build and live in together. So I hope that metaphor connects with some of you listening. Also, the word soon came out, so this could be happening or progressing forward much sooner than you think. Also the words pie and cast, if that connects with anyone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for any final messages from either the masculine or feminine side of this situation, and then I will be getting into more detailed channeled love messages in the extended version of this reading for both the divine feminine and masculine side. So be sure to check out the extended if you would like those more detailed messages. But the first card coming out here is walking away in the upright position. And I heard this card almost like addressing someone, saying if you are someone listening to this and either your twin or you have chosen recently to, in the physical, either walk away or disconnect, either emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever the case may be, there is some message here for you. So what does this person need to know who chose to walk away recently or who chose to disconnect? What do they need to know? Okay, the first card to come out is Angel of Balance reversed. So what I heard is things may feel very confusing right now. You may not understand why all of this is happening or where all of this is going. However, although it may seem as though your twin flame counterpart or even you are indecisive, the indecision card came out, so it might feel as though you're in this dark forest, unable to get clarity on either what decision you should make, or feeling as though your twin flame isn't acting clear or decisive about the connection. Although you are feeling all of these things, this confusion, this imbalance, this indecision, or seeing indecision in your twin flame, the final card that came out here is Contract Reversed. What you need to know is karmic contracts are being broken. Now, I will get into more specifics on what those karmic contracts could be for you specifically in your situation with your twin, but for now I'm going to leave this reading here. So I hope you received some kind of message you need to hear at this time. If you would like to get more details in the extended version, such as who or what the masculine has been using for external validation, including letter initials through his kind of ego death experience, as well as a channeled love message from both the feminine and masculine, and more details on this potential karmic contract situation coming up. Be sure to check out the extended, which is linked in the pinned comment under this video. Also, all of the subliminals I recommended during this reading, which were the root chakra activation, the awakened divine masculine, and the awakened divine feminine, all of those will be linked under this video, also in the pinned comment as well. Thank you so much for joining me here today in this reading. I hope you received something of value from it today, and have a wonderful, magical start to your week.